Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. BTM here, bringing you a 3v3 on Decan. Where else would you expect 3 players on Age of Empires 3 to be playing? Let's be honest. But on Team 1, we have a German, a British, and an Indian facing against me and some random people I met on Team 2 as a Dutch, a French, and me, of course, playing Dutch one last time this week. And Orange was completely right. We do have our work cut out for us. This is going to be a very challenging and interesting matchup. He's going to go scrims. I'm going to end up going scrims and pikes. And our hope is to delay the inevitable fast rush that the Indian will try, find his aggro fort early, and get the show on the proverbial road, I guess. So, that's what's going on immediately to begin the game. This was a really interesting game, so I think this is going to kind of be the type of game that a lot of you guys have been asking for and want to see. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, the problem, I mentioned in my last video that I sometimes don't enjoy team games, and this was one of the reasons. Purple, before the game in the chat lobby when we were making teams, did not really talk to us all that much, and it was really scary. We didn't know whether he spoke English or not, and so just and I mean, I get it, English, it's not the end of the world if you don't speak English, but you're in an English game with mostly English people and you need to communicate in English, you know what I mean? Like if I was in Russia playing a Russian game, I wouldn't be speaking in English. I'd try my best to speak in Russian, as broken as it would be. So I want to give the guys some benefit of the doubt, not be like, finger waggling, you didn't speak in English well, but yeah, English speaking was not really good and we were really concerned about it. And then he tells me what to do. Okay, great, By the way, I got really frustrated with Purple later on, but you'll see what happens, But at this point in the game, I'm like, you know what, why not go with it? He technically is the highest rated player on our team, higher rated than me, which is something I'll discuss later, but not the end of the world, I said 2 scrims is fine. We just have to mix in some pike, and I'm kind of playing team mom here, All right, guys, let's all be nice, We 2 of you can share the skirmishers, And then again, not the end of the world. Just doing what you got to do to play the game and to win the game, right? And that's good. Fortunately, here I find 100 wood or 100 food treasure, which is fantastic. Exactly what I need to age up really quickly. And I need to pick a home city shipment, but I'm going to do that as soon as I age, and I'm working on it, and so I go to get my home city shipment soon. I'm talking in the chat because they're like micromanaging it, and then I can't see the names of my titles, and because I have so many deck titles and I make them so quickly, I don't remember which one I'm using. Like with Russian, where I have like 30 decks, but I use Russia so much, I could pick out the right deck, but here it was kind of like, wait, is it this one, is it that one? Finally settled on this deck. It's my TP Rush deck, I believe, not my Gangster Rush, as somebody so kindly pointed out, but no big worries. We're going to get our 3 villagers a little later than we should, but other than that, I actually played I executed really well this game, I think, overall, but no spoilers from me. And I'm going to start sending a villager to the plateau so we can make our forward base and get things rolling. We're going to get our bank up pretty quickly. I mean, 2 minutes, 50 seconds in the game, and we're going to have our bank being built about now. It's getting started construction, which is fantastically early. Not to mention, we're also on this left side here getting a bunch of treasures, and I find an 80 coin treasure, which is simply fantastic. And as I'm walking up, I happen to walk to the aggro fort, so clearly they're coming for me. They apparently think I'm the weak link here. Okay, that's fine. I am not a good Age of Empires player that poses to YouTube at all. And let me just apologize. I'm going to be really sarcastic and mean this game, and you'll see why soon. But no spoilers from me, and I really hope. Yeah. Anyways, got my bank up and running, and I'm just a smart guy, and not to be a douchebag, but I see there's an aggro fort. I don't panic. I don't throw my keyboard in the air. I don't freak out. I just simply, all right, let's put a wall down, and my first shipment in the colonial age actually will be 2 towers. That's right. I'm just going to calmly send 2 towers. I'm going to put them right by there. I'm going to build a barracks. Nobody's wiser. In fact, I'm the first one to the colonial age. So look at that. I actually beat Blue with his aggro fort there. Not the end of the world at all. Things are going well. And notice at this point, by the way, again, not to be a jerk, but please notice, guess who's still directing traffic? That's right. Purple said, oh, nope, now we're building our forward base back here. I mean, I felt like that was fairly obvious, but not the end of the world. Now notice here that Purple walls off the little access to the plateau, which is something I check in a few minutes, or very soon, I believe. He does wall off the access to the plateau, which is great. And I wall off my area, and I'm going to actually end up walling more of the side too to protect myself, just, common sense. I opt out of building a second barracks here, just because generally in the very beginning of the game, I cannot afford to make I cannot afford to make skirmishers out of 2 barracks to begin with, just because of maybe poor play or whatever. So I decided, you know what, 1 barrack's enough. We'll start getting our halting skirmisher flow. Our goal is really to get a really good resource flow going to the point where we can just pump out units with impunity. So that's kind of the plan, rather than try to rush out to skirmishers. And now here I'm going to build another wall right here. And the reason for this is it's not that long of a walk around to the side, so it'd be completely pointless, purple, to build 1 small wall and ignore a huge area next to you. I really hope I didn't give it away, but you guys should watch, because I regardless of what happens, let me just say this was a hell of a fight either way. It was a very, very good game. So as you can see here, though, I'm building my second bank. Didn't send my bank wagon yet here. So, you know, I've straight up put in the money for 2 banks, which has been really good. Getting the wall built. And I'm now going to actually send another villager to the right to wall off the side. Again, just being smart. I'm protecting myself. We're facing a really aggressive civilization. He starts to march forward to, you know, probably get some siege damage on my wall. And what do you know? There's 2 towers and now skirmishers coming. And I notice that yellow's on the way. So I just let purple know. Yellow marching. Not a big deal. Remember, just stay calm. We're playing a game. Just read the information and adapt to it the best that you can. I'm adapting to it by walling well, gathering smart treasures, building banks, and the such. Unfortunately, Orange is going to lose the trading post he just built, and that's a real bummer. I, on the other hand, I'm not going to lose my trading post I just built, but I am going to build a trading post soon. So I'm actually going to end up grabbing all 3 on the right side, which is just something I love doing. I love that people ignore the right side if they can. I don't know why. It is such a cash cow. Like, it's their loss when people ignore it. That is for sure. Anyway, we have a unit starting to burn things down. Not the end of the world. Again, we're just gonna kind of move on, live our life. No hurtables though on my side of the map. Really, there's a few, but not that many. So that's kind of a bummer. Gonna get our 3rd bank built, but that one's gonna be from the bank wagon. And at this point, we're now getting to the point where we can almost keep up a steady flow of skirmishers. And there comes some Ulane. And I really, at this point, if there was one mistake I made, which I would say right here, it was hesitating with my main skirmisher army back, because I saw the Ulane. The skirmishers wouldn't have done anything to the Ulane anyway, and they probably could have been over by purple and orange at this point. But other than that, I don't think I really made too many mistakes this game. I'm sure I'll find some more. I'm not perfect, but you know, all around a pretty good move. At this point, I'm going to turn in the stockpile of wood I'm sitting on into a trading post. Say that 5 times fast. And I'm going to send 700 wood with the intention of getting my 2nd barracks up, since we're now having a pretty good economic flow, and with the intention of getting more trading posts. Unfortunately for us, Purple's made crossbowmen after he said he was going to go hussar. You Master Sergeant telling us what to do, doesn't even follow, and unfortunately that leaves us with a huge weakness. Crossbowmen, skirmishers, and skirmishers. Good thing red isn't mastering Ulanes. Well, okay, it's okay guys, there's one player on this team smart enough to build crossbowmen, or not crossbowmen, pikemen, and it's me. Yep, that's right, I got pikemen coming. And again, I'm sorry for being really sarcastic, but you'll see what happens. I just get really pissed off, and I'm recording this right after I played it, so the incident's very fresh in my mind, and therefore my anger is very, very real. As you can see, I'm going to micromanage, get these wood treasures really quickly, and just move on with my life, keep booming my economy, keep getting men out on the field, keep playing a smart, simple game of Age of Empires 3, not make any stupid mistakes, you know, all the good normal stuff. Buying the trade route upgrade, that way I can start getting some resources from it. A good food flow would really help with my unit production, you know, smart choices. And there's all of Purple's units getting raided. And it's just kind of like, really? Like, if you just built a wall there, you know, we're clearly turtling. And maybe it's unfair to have expected him to build a wall, but I felt like it was a pretty fair expectation. Now, I do make a mistake here. I decide to chase him with my pikemen, and both blue and yellow, who's actually a 2nd lieutenant, is smart enough to kind of pick off my pikemen, so when I really should have walked him back and around. So, okay, my mistake, I admit it. But, to be honest, I probably shouldn't have been in that position where I was trying to chase down Ulanes anyway, and I should have just been able to leave my skirmishers by my mass of... I should have been able to leave my pikemen by my massive skirmishers, and at this point our army's lost, and you think, oh man, we're dead. Nope, Orange has a really good mass of his own. Unfortunately, Orange just let his pikemen rush forward. not the best choice. You should really have your hotkeyed units, but considering that I just lost my pikeman, I'm not going to be a hypocrite here and say, oh, Orange actually played pretty well. He made a mistake. I made a mistake. Tomato, you know, you win some, you lose some. I'm going to send pikeman as my next card in the Colonial Age just to back up my army, considering that red is running around with lanes, raping everybody. I'm also going to be looking to get to the Fortress Age. That way I can get riders on the field as soon as possible. I don't see another better way to beat red and the combined masses we're fighting, but it's okay because we beat them off here. That's right, we fought them back and did a pretty decent job, if I may say so myself. And I'm gonna get my second barracks on the field now. I'm getting my third trading post up, and I'm getting my I'm getting my third trading post up, and I'm getting probably something somewhere else up as well. So all around, not a bad situation. So now, of course, after red or purple just got raided, you would build a wall, right? No, you wouldn't build a wall. That wouldn't be a perfectly reasonable, insane thing to do. Because if you built a wall, then you could behind your wall with skirmishers and not worry about you lanes rushing in and killing you. If you built a wall, you could just, you know, be really defensive and allow your economy that just got raided because you didn't build a wall in the first place to get repaired. If you built a wall instead of marching up your Minutemen forward up the map foolishly, you'd be in great shape. But that's all really stupid. You shouldn't build a wall. And oh, look, there goes all of Purple's men dead. Then he runs back like, save me, and then gets like a ... face like, you guys are idiots. How are we idiots? I fail to see the idiocy of me. And then he says pikemen. Well, I'm the guy who actually has pikemen on the field. I'm not marching forward into a mass of you lanes with minutemen and crossbowmen, okay? And I also didn't waste all my hussar by trying to take you lanes head on. Now, in all fairness, I've tried to do that before, and that's how I know not to do it. But at the same time, it's a bad choice, and if you're Master Sergeant bossing the team around, at least you should be able to be a competent player. Oh man, I feel bad about ripping on him, especially considering here that I've run out of housing and I forgot to build a market, but I haven't really needed a market. My resource flow has been pretty steady, but all around frustrating. But you think at this point, oh, he'll build a wall now. Nope, and there's red running into places with Ulaine. Not good for me, to say the least. But we're going to get our church up. We're going to be looking to get the church card, get more banks on the field, and all around make smarter choices. And there comes red. But again, right? I don't freak out. I don't let him kill my villagers. I hit that magical big button. All my villagers go to the tower of the town center safely, magically. He's going to try to siege your bank, and that's okay. I can afford to replace it. And I'm just going to make more units and be alive. Unfortunately, while doing that, I do let some of my skirmishers somehow get over there. No idea how. I'm going to blame Purple for it. I'm sure he had something to do with it. And I just lost about 10 or so skirmishers. Big bummer, but that's not, again, not the end of the world. I got pikemen coming to save the bank. I didn't even lose the bank. And now I got the villagers back out. The trading posts in my banks have kept my economy relatively afloat. Not the end of the world, right? So see how that all worked out? Things turned out well, and I was about to make more villagers. Then I decided, you know what, we're going to go to the Fortress Age, so I stopped making villagers. But again, at this point, of course, you know, considering that the only thing really threatening us is red running around with new lanes, purple will build a wall. Just kidding. Purple instead is going to rage in chat like, what the heck, guys? Why is there no wall magically appearing? And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, if you just, no. So, slightly frustrating to me, and I don't know. It's so frustrating to me as a sergeant to be, granted, I'm way underranked. I should be a second lieutenant. Just being humble, I should be a second lieutenant, maybe a first lieutenant on a really good day. Some days I play bad, but some days I play really well. You know what I mean? I've beaten first lieutenants before 1-1. But at the same time, I enjoy having fun, so I don't purposely chase rank, and I'm okay with losing a game now and then, right? Not the end of the world. But, anyway, sometimes it frustrates me because then there's bad players, you know, who then get mad. But unfortunately, nothing you can do about it. And at this point, though, we're going to keep making villagers or skirmishers and the such. But as you can see, Purple the Master Sergeant bossing us around, telling us what to do, playing really badly. Frustrating as hell. Really frustrating. And yet, again, we're about to beat them, except for the Ulaines running around. And there's nothing I can really do about that at this point. I do back up my pikemen. The goal of the pikemen, remember, is to protect my skirmishers. It's not to go kill anything, really. It's to protect my skirmishers. Orange, by the way, at this point has done a fantastic job. Realizes, oh wait, I got to get in the fortress age as well. We're both in the fortress age, and look at this. I do a little switcheroo. Now my pikemen are attacking the U lane. My skirmishers are safe. Things are going well. Now I got riders hotkeyed and coming to the field, and we beat them off again. So, you know, purple's going to build a wall finally, and we're really going to be able to take this game back and win, surprisingly. I'm kidding, guys. Purple's not going to build a wall. He's instead going to get mad at us for his town being under damage. I don't even know why he just... whatever. So, no wall yet, but I'm sure walls will be coming soon, right? Only reasonable. No market yet on my part, though. So if I made a mistake, it was criminally neglecting my market, which I'm not going to build now. I'm going to build a stable. But if there was a mistake, it was criminally neglecting my market. But as you can see here, he chases after their massive units with 5 or so Hussar instead of just building a wall. Like, what the heck? Why are you matching your Hussar with veteran U-lanes? Like, really? But it's okay, because Purple's not going to build a wall now. Right. I'm actually going to get to the point where I get so frustrated, I'm going to send a villager over to start walling. That's going to actually happen really, really soon. Probably surprisingly soon. At this point, I had more villagers idle than I realized, but my economy was still fine. And Purple, of course, still hasn't built a wall, despite the fact that Orange and I have combined twice, fought off 3 armies to save his ass. No wall coming. And that's the second time I've cussed in one of my Age of Empires videos. Wow. I've cussed one other video that somebody pointed out to me. The second time. I feel bad about wasting it. And he says gold, please. So doesn't wall, doesn't do anything, wants resources, but I send it to him because I'm a nice guy. And I say you're welcome. Doesn't even say thank you, though, until I say something. But I do build a market now, finally. I know it was late in the game. Should have had it first. But it's okay because Purple's not going to build a wall now. Purple's going to just cause us more problems. So all around, it's just really frustrating. It's like, really, man? But I'm going to keep making units, keep pumping stuff out on the field. I'm actually going to end up starting to build a barracks over here. I'm kind of getting worried that they might change their angle of attack. Who knows, right? I mean, their other angle isn't necessarily broken, but I just felt like that's what I would do. I'd start, you know, trying to pressure. At the very least, take the trading post. So that's what I kind of decided to look out for. But at this point, we have a really good mass around Purple's town, a good amount of riders. Orange and I have a pretty good amount of units. Unfortunately, their economies aren't doing so hot. Both Orange and Purple have about the same economic strength, whereas I'm leading the game in economy, and I'm walling in Purple. Because after 16 minutes of gameplay, being raided 4 or 5 times by U-lanes, hasn't figured out a simple wall would save your butt. And again, I'm sorry for raging, but this was so frustrating to me playing the game. I was just like, come on. And there's a bunch of whatchamacallums up there. Now at this point, the best thing I could probably do is get an arsenal built up after I build more houses and get an arsenal on the field relatively quickly. That's probably a good choice. I am going to build more housing, but an arsenal would be very helpful, I think. And I'm going to finally buy my basic market upgrades, which I should have already had, I'll admit it. I'm going to run around with my riders, though, trying to protect. And I made a rookie mistake here. I chose to fight them ahead of the fight when I should have pulled back to where Orange was there. And you know what, that was actually a really big mistake. I've talked about it before. You know, you don't want to fight armies 1v3, you want to fight them 3v3 at best and hope for the best. But I kind of pushed forward a little bit there. Now the reason why I did that is because I need to get that wall finished, and I was really worried about his army parking there. But again, we still managed to beat him back, you know, so it's not the end of the world. But not really. But at this point, Purple has no units whatsoever to back us up. So it's really just Orange and I trying to fight off. And in comes Yellow with a bajillion longbowmen. And there's not that much at this point that's really going to happen. And there's Falconets on the field, and it just sucks. On the bright side, though, my wall for Purple is almost completed. I'm going to make some Hussar, but at this point it's a little too late. It didn't really matter what I did. If in an ideal world, not to be mean, but if Purple had walled up, and if we had turtled more effectively and held our own better, I should have probably built my market earlier. I should have gotten my arsenal and gotten a ×2 attack against blue Sepoys, and I could have massed more riders, possibly some more Hussar on the field. All would have been very valid and wise choices. But at this point, there's not that much I can do. I really can't go save him. I mean, I got more skirmishers coming, but it's too little too late. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's just nothing we can do at this point. and we fought pretty well head up, and we held them off, I felt like, really, really well. Watching back at it, initiating that final fight was a poor choice. I didn't know exactly how strong we were, so trying to march forward to protect that wall, not the smartest thing in the world, but I did that because we needed to be honest. I felt like there was really no recourse there but to march forward and allow ourselves to kind of wall that, whereas I probably could have just let the villager die and it wouldn't be the end of the world. And then somehow here accidentally the treasure guardian starts attacking me, because my life hasn't been difficult enough this game already. So now I'm fighting off the treasure guardian and doing everything else as well, which just sucks. But again here, it looks like they're retreating. I'm like, great, you know, we won again. But no, they're not going to end up retreating. They end up killing us. So for those of you who wanted to see a team game, here you go. For those of you who want to see me lose, here you go. Now let me defend myself here. I didn't play perfectly this game, okay? I'll be honest. I didn't play perfectly. I made some mistakes. But overall, I didn't make any mistake that a competent player wouldn't make. I didn't make anything catastrophic, and I played really well. You know what I mean? I didn't play badly. And if, you know, not to bag on Purple, but if he had walled and allowed us to be behind the wall and not allowed us to be susceptible to lane raiding, and I had not thrown away his horses attacking the U-lanes rather than going for the crosswomen, we would have been in really, really good shape, I think, going in this game, and should have won, because no offense, I matched up well against every single one of them. I think Orange matched up well against every single one of them, and it was kind of stupid. And at this point I decided, you know what, I'm out of here. Last of my team to resign. It sucks, but there's nothing more you can do about it. So it was a good game, kind of, and I don't want to bag on Purple too much, but I really felt like kind of he was so bossy in the beginning. That's why it frustrated me. And then you're going to see what happens in the end. In the end, you know, Orange is complimenting me on how well I played. I had most military units. I also lost the most units. And I just let him know, hey, yeah, I'm going to post this on YouTube. Look me up, you know. Free advertising in-game. I don't do it actually that often. But considering this is a 3v3 and he's complimented me, I was like, well, you know, I should show him how I play, you know. Maybe he'll get a kick out of seeing this. That's kind of my thought pattern. Notice here, close second in resources, first in military. I played really well. I matched a first or second lieutenant in terms of playing ability. So, I was really frustrated. And this is why I bagged on Purple this entire match. If you watch here, we're talking in the chat, you know, and he challenges me to a 1v1 as if he's some amazing player who just happened to be, you know, see, he challenges me 1v1. I'm like, how cocky can that be? Like, it was so frustrating. It's like you played poorly, you know what I mean? And then you challenged me to a 1v1 after all, when I'm lamenting the fact that I lost, you know, not to be mean, but, you know, like 1v1, like he knew he played badly. He's trying to defend his honor and or something. And it was just really annoying. It's like, how cocky are you? I gave you gold, you know. I walled for you. We protected you. You bossed us around the entire time and then ended up being the weak link. And that's just one thing. Like, if you're a bad player, just be a humble player and it's fine. I'm not going to bag on you if you're an average player. We all start somewhere. We're not all really good players. I know my limits as a player, okay? And I'm not going to go into a game with expert level people or really good people and say, you do this and you do that, because I can't back up my words. So it frustrates me when somebody not as good goes into a game and starts bossing around and then can't back up their words. So that's kind of why I got really frustrated and bagged on Purple this match. My apologies if it was a little bit excessive or too much, but I was not thrilled, to say the least. And, you know, you gotta, it's like, really? Come on, man. I was gonna have none of it. If you're gonna be like that, then I'm gonna be like this. Notice I had so much military relative to the rest of my team too, and it was frustrating. I mean, Purple never recovered, and then he's like LOLing in chat. Like, the guy walked out of the game thinking I'm a great player. They just did a bad job protecting me. But the numbers don't lie. We protected him well. We fought them off twice. The video doesn't lie. Let me know in the comments what you think, though. Did we do a good job? You know, was my mistake in not having an arsenal in a market, was that really bad? Did I really cause our team's downfall? Was initiating that final battle really the end of the game, or was the game already lost? Because I think at that point the game was already lost. I don't think I threw it away. But either way, let me know what you guys think about this match in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys like team games, so I decided to bring you a team game. So GG, thank you guys all for watching. And before I go today, let me get you today's quote of the day from Sun Tzu and the Art of War, and it is, "He who exercises no forethought but makes light of his opponents is sure to be captured by them." Anyway, guys, BTM here, and until next time, good luck and happy hunting.